Hey, what's up guys, it's the Chosen One, you know the deal. Today we're doing a Power Level Media video on how WWE should book Nikki Cross. That's right guys, NXT's Twisted Sister, Nikki Cross, finally making her debut on the main roster, and I'm super excited to talk about it. I'm excited for her debut. I feel like she was kind of left in the dust when Sanity debuted. For some reason, Sanity debuted on SmackDown without her, and it didn't make any sense. She was just kind of left on SmackDown. But she finally made like a little mini debut, which made no sense also. She did a little mini debut against Becky Lynch while Becky Lynch was still champion. And it was a great match. She got a great pop from the audience. People actually knew who she was, which can't say the same thing for Sanity when they debuted. The crowd was like completely dead. I don't know if it was the arena they were in. I don't know if it was the city. Just they did not connect with the crowd, and the match they had wasn't that great. I believe they were squashed by the Usos and Jeff Hardy. Wasn't a great match, but as far as Nikki Cross debuting, she had that great match with Becky. I want to see more of that, and I feel like when she does get drafted, I want her to get drafted to SmackDown. I feel like she'll fit better on SmackDown, and not for nothing, but the SmackDown roster is elite compared to Raw's roster. You have like almost like an indie vibe on SmackDown rather than this big commercial machine that is Raw, and you got all the big commercial big guys on Raw. And I feel like SmackDown, like Shane says, is the land of opportunity, and I feel like Nikki Cross would fit best on SmackDown. Like I said, she had great chemistry with Becky Lynch. I want to see more of that, and imagine what kind of great matches she could have with Charlotte, Asuka, Naomi, Becky. I mean, the roster's stacked on SmackDown. And like I said, I feel like she would fit perfect on there. And it would only make sense because Sanity's on there. I don't really see her doing much on Raw. I don't think that Raw would be the best brand for her to be on. Like I said, SmackDown, she would be a perfect fit. And she would have great matches with that talent. And as far as her debuting, I want to see her debut solo, because the way that WWE's been booking Sanity, honestly, it's just going to make her look weak to be with a losing team, because Sanity hasn't done anything since they debuted, which sucks for them. And it all boils down to WWE doesn't know what to do with these NXT call-ups. That's why, honestly, I don't know why they're calling up all these people. Vince McMahon is doing this shake-up. And not only are we getting Nikki Cross, but we're getting Lacey Evans, we're getting Heavy Machinery, EC3, and who else? And Nikki Cross, I believe. There might be one more. Oh, Lars. And Lars. We're getting Lars Sullivan. And I don't understand why we're getting all these people when they haven't even utilized the NXT talent that they have already. As far as like Ember Moon came from NXT, right? And she hasn't had one storyline feud since she's made her debut, and it's getting close to a year now. Same with Bayley. She hasn't done anything. She was the champion, and it was just a huge botched championship title reign. Just WWE didn't know how to book her. People started booing her. I can't name one successful NXT main roster call up. Not this year anyways. I really can't. They botched Finn. Honestly, I feel like ever since Finn got injured, that kind of threw him off course, and he hasn't been able to recover after that with horrible feuds with Corbin and just being on Raw. He's another one I feel like he should be on SmackDown. But that's just, as far as Sanity, I want to see her alone. I like her solo stuff. She's good by herself. She doesn't need anybody. She cut her own promos. Her vignettes are crazy. She's like a straight psychopath in her videos. And the whole thing that she did with Aleister Black was great. I love the chemistry they had together. I want to see more of that in her main roster debut. Just that whole crazy psychopath when she knew who jumped Aleister Black, and she was like, I know. And she's like just crazy. Her accent's insane. I just hope they do justice with her and they don't fail her. She's not another failed NXT call-up like Sanity, because Sanity, the Revival, I mean, the list goes on. It's so bad. Ty Dillinger. I mean, all these top guys that were NXT, and they finally debut on the main roster. Shinsuke and Asuka are other ones too. I just hope they know what to do with Nikki Cross, because I feel like as far as like WWE utilizing like crazy people. They don't know what to do with crazy people like the Wyatts and who else is crazy? Ascension, all those crazy gimmicks, Ember Moon, Boogeyman, all those people. WWE never really knew how to utilize them. I feel like, especially now, I feel like they just don't know what to do with these crazy acts. And honestly, I've been talking about it for a while now, and I'm going to keep saying it. Just imagine the interaction between Undertaker and Nikki Cross. How cool would that be? I would love to see them work together and do something. I feel like Undertaker should bring back like the ministry and have like a new ministry of darkness and have all these new disciples, and they just run rampant on Raw and SmackDown. And Raw and SmackDown have to unite. Like, all the good guys have to unite to fight this crazy, evil stable with, who knows, this is just all fantasy booking, but this is dream booking. But just imagine Undertaker, Nikki Cross, Finn Balor, Ember Moon, not Finn Balor, actually, Demon Balor, because we haven't seen Demon Balor in forever. Who else? Boogeyman, bring him back. Papa Shango, bring back all these crazy people, and have some kind of like dark ministry storyline. I feel like that would be awesome in this day and age, and I feel like it would go so good. But I mean, that's just my fantasy booking. But I want to see her in these dark storylines. I want to see her in hardcore matches, because that's her best. That's what she does best. These crazy matches, epic matches. Her pacing in her matches is great. Her wrestling skills, she's amazing. For a fun fact, actually, I didn't even know that one of her trainers was Finn Balor. I think that's pretty cool. That's a fun fact. And she was also trained by Killian Dane. So that's a cool thing to know. But yeah, so as far as booking her, book her strong. And I don't know if they're going to book her as a babyface or as a heel, because I know Sanity is technically a heel stable. But I feel like she would be better as a babyface, because she gets that good crowd reaction. People like her, and she has so much energy, and she has so much charisma. She's crazy. She kind of reminds me of like an Ultimate Warrior, how she runs around the ring and she's just grabbing the ropes, and she's just like insane. She just sits in the corner. So I don't know. I love that she stays in character too. There's not many wrestlers that keep kayfabe alive still, but she's definitely one of those wrestlers that stay true to their character, and I think that's such an awesome thing, because it's hard to do it in this day and age, especially with social media. Like, you're posting stuff, eating at like Undertaker posting that he's at Starbucks or something, getting a coffee with Michelle McCool. Like, you don't want to see stuff. You don't want to see an Instagram picture of Undertaker drinking Starbucks, because he's Undertaker. You visualize him drinking blood and eating babies. Not that, but no, actually, Undertaker's a Christian, so, which is crazy too. If you guys haven't seen the Undertaker interview, make sure you guys check that out. He actually breaks kayfabe, and he reveals it reveals not everything, but he reveals a lot about wrestling and him actually being Mark Calloway, which is a good interview. But yeah, as far as and I want to see Nikki Cross and Undertaker definitely do something together. But as far as one of my favorite matches from Nikki Cross, and it was in NXT, and it was the last woman standing match, the first last woman standing match in NXT, and it was against Asuka for the belt, and it was an amazing match. It was so hardcore. It was crazy to see like these women having this iconic first last woman standing match. And you never see stuff like that on Raw and SmackDown. And it was something so different, because it was like a hardcore match. They were using everything. Chairs, ladders, tables. It was insane. And if you haven't seen the match yet, I definitely recommend going to check it out. It's on the WWE Network. Asuka versus Nikki Cross, last woman standing for the NXT Women's title. And man, just such a good match. The pacing, everything. I was so intrigued throughout that whole match. It was just crazy that it was on a regular NXT. It wasn't like an NXT takeover match. It was just a regular NXT match. Sick. So let's just hope that they book her like that, how they did in NXT, because she's definitely an amazing talent. Book her strong, book her crazy, dark storylines, and hopefully, get her away from the whole Sanity thing. I feel like she needs to venture out on her own and do her own solo thing. But let's hope for the best. Vince McMahon says he's going to listen to the fans this year, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully that not only Nikki Cross's debut is successful, but everybody that debuts from NXT from now on has a successful debut, has a successful career in WWE, and WWE utilizes them properly, and hopefully they go back and fix some debuts that weren't all that great. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys excited to see Nikki Cross finally debut on the main roster? What do you think about Sanity and their debut? Let me know down below. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more wrestling discussion videos. And what else can I say, guys? Power Level Media. Chosen One. Out. Yes.